Welcome back to another rebuild I have for you guys here today. Today I'm going to be attempting to rebuild the Cleveland Browns, but before I get into this rebuild I want to mention that I'm going to be making a Discord chat for you guys. I'll be in there every once in a while answering questions, talking to you guys and all that good stuff, so feel free to join. I will put the link in the description. Of course you don't have to join, but it'd be cool to see you guys there. But anyway, this team now has Baker Mayfield, who has star development. He is definitely going to be the starting quarterback. I think that is very obvious. Tyrod Taylor is a good quarterback. He's a lot better than I think Bills fans give him credit for, but I am going to be trading him. One of the fastest quarterbacks in this game. Pretty decent throw power, good short accuracy stats, doesn't make many mistakes, but doesn't do anything like extremely flashy, but he's, he's pretty consistent. I am going to trade him though. Weird running back committee here. Duke Johnson's a good receiving back. Carlos Hyde, I'm assuming, will be their starter. Nick Chubb's not bad either. He's a rookie, of course. He's a power back with quick development. 88 speed, 87 trucking. I don't think I'm going to start him. I just don't see him going anywhere. I might try to trade Carlos Hyde. I do like him. I think he's a good running back, but I just kind of want someone better to get this team into the playoffs this year, maybe. Him and Nick Chubb are kind of like the same running back. I will keep Duke Johnson as the backup, though. Jarvis Landry, Josh Gordon, and Corey Coleman make up the wide receiver core. Jarvis Landry, of course, the newest of all those guys. Josh Gordon has quick development this year, which is kind of interesting. 27 years old with quick. Maybe if he can get back to like 2014, 2015 form, this team can do very, very well. I think this team might be able to make the playoffs. I'm not going to guarantee it or anything, but I feel like they'll go like 8-8, 7-9 at worst, which is a great improvement from last year. This O-line is pretty good, but they did lose Joe Thomas, which sucks. But Joel Bitonio, Kevin Zeitler, J.C. Treader are not bad interior offensive linemen. David Njoku had an okay year, his first year as a rookie, but I think he's going to have a pretty breakout season with them this year. Michael Kendricks is their middle linebacker. Okay. I thought he was an outside linebacker. It doesn't really matter. I think I am going to trade him. I do like Michael Kendricks, of course. I'm an Eagles fan, so I definitely like him. I think he's a solid player. Joe Schobert, if I'm not mistaken, made the Pro Bowl last year? Didn't he make the Pro Bowl last year? He had a pretty good season with the Browns. Christian Kirksey, I feel like, is a bit underrated. I don't watch many Browns games, but I feel like he's better than this. Maybe not. Who knows? Jamie Collins has fallen off a bit from when he was on the Patriots. He's definitely going to get traded. Derrick KINDRED is not a bad strong safety. Jabril Peppers is back up to a 78 overall. Does he have good coverage stats again? 73 zone, 75 man. Really is not that bad. DAMARIOUS RANDALL is another new player they got. I don't know if I'm going to keep him. 79 zone, 77 man. A decent safety there. TJ Carey, EJ Gaines, Brian Body Calhoun, Denzel Ward make for some pretty good cornerbacks. They have a lot of depth here. Denzel Ward, of course, the newest of these guys. 21 years old, star development with blazing fast speed. 95 speed and acceleration and agility with good coverage stats as well. He is obviously going to be a starting corner on this team. I might trade TJ Carey. I like Brian Body Calhoun a lot and EJ Gaines, but I kind of want to get somebody better. I want to see if I can take this team to the playoffs this first year. Larry Ogunjobi, Jamie Meter are both defensive tackles. Emmanuel Ogbah, Myles Garrett are the defensive ends. Of course, Myles Garrett, superstar developing second-year player. Fantastic to have in a rebuild, so let's get into some trades here. I'm giving the Saints Michael Kendricks, Jamie Collins, and our first-round draft pick from Michael Thomas and a sixth-rounder. I know the first-round draft pick is supposed to be, number one, but I really don't think it's going to be that way with this team. This trade kind of makes some sense here. Obviously not the value, but Corey Coleman is now on the Bills. I forgot about that until right now, but I'm giving the Bills him and Darren Fells for their first-rounder. Jamie Meter and Tyrod Taylor for Damon Harrison. Here we are again ruining the Jets for the first season, giving them Drew Stanton, Carlos Hyde, and Chris Hubbard for their first-rounder. Demarius Randall, Seth DeValve, and our second-round draft pick for Ezekiel Elliott. I didn't really expect that to go through, but it's okay. I'm giving the Giants Smith, Cooley, and Carl Nassib for Will Hernandez. Terrence Mitchell, TJ Carey, and a fifth-round draft pick for the Colts' first-round draft pick. Well, that's a weird trade. I'm giving the Chargers Burgess Jr. for Jatavis Brown. This is the look of the team heading into this first season. I think this team's actually really good on the offensive side. Baker Mayfield, Ezekiel Elliott, Michael Thomas, Jarvis Landry, and Josh Gordon are all here, and they all are very good players. Joel Bitonio is now the left tackle. Kevin Zeitler is the right tackle. Will Hernandez, J.C. Treader, and Austin Corbett yeah, fill out the rest of the offensive line. Both Corbett and Hernandez are rookies, of course. David Njoku is the tight end. And then here on the defensive side, Jatavis Brown's the left out, Christian Kirksey's right out, Joe Sherbert's the middle, Derrick Kindred and Jabril Peppers are the safeties, EJ Gaines is the number 1 corner, Denzel Ward, I'm actually going to have him play the number 1, EJ Gaines is the number 2, and Brian Calhoun is in the slot. Myles Garrett, Damon Harrison, Larry Ogunjobi, and Emmanuel Ogbah make up the D-line. Let me make sure this is what I want it to be. Yes, okay, so Jarvis Landry is the slot wide receiver, Brian Calhoun is the slot cornerback, and I think this team can actually do pretty well. We are 4-4 here at the midseason mark. The Chiefs are 3-5. The Steelers are 4-3. Ravens are 4-4. And the Bengals 3-5. So this division is very close. I wish we beat the Steelers last week. That would have been a pretty big game. Baker Mayfield, Michael Thomas, Joel Bitonio, and David Njoku all have 1 experience point. Josh Gordon does not have any. And then here on the defense, 1 from Joe Schobert, Jatavis Brown, Derrick Kindred, Jabril Peppers, 2 from Denzel Ward and Myles Garrett, 1 also from Larry Ogunjobi, EJ Gaines, and none from Brian Calhoun. But Josh Gordon is the top free agent. I don't know if I want to re-sign him, to be honest. I might just be able to draft a wide receiver. EJ Gaines I will give a contract to, though. We have an okay amount of money. I'll still pay him, though, just to solidify, you know, some corners. I will pay Brian Calhoun as well. Okay, they are both coming back to the team. Justin Vogel might as well give a contract to. He is our punter. Doesn't want too much. No. Okay. I thought that would have just automatically submitted the contract. I'm very happy that did not. I would have had to edit his contract all the way down. That would have been annoying, but Justin Vogel is coming back to the team too. We did not end up making the playoffs this season. We went 7-9, but the Steelers went 8-8, and the Ravens and the Bengals also went 7-9. We would have been very, very close. We actually were very, very close to making the playoffs. 2-2 in the preseason. Won the opening game against the Steelers, lost against the Saints, beat the Jets and the Raiders, lost to the Ravens and the Chargers, beat the Buccaneers. If we would have beaten the Steelers here, I think we would have made the playoffs. But then we also lost to the Chiefs and the Falcons, beat the Bengals, lost 2 more, 1-2, and then lost 1 to the Ravens. Yeah, if we would have beat the Steelers there, we definitely would have made the playoffs. Aaron Rodgers wins MVP, but Baker Mayfield has over 4,000 yards, 27 touchdowns, 17 interceptions. Not the best season I've ever seen, but still not terrible, I guess. Ezekiel Elliott doesn't really have that crazy of a year. 927 yards only with 8 touchdowns. That's really nothing special. Receiving, Jarvis Landry gets 1,100 yards with 10 touchdowns. Michael Thomas gets almost 1,000 yards. He's 1 yard short with 5 touchdowns. Josh Gordon gets a touchdown. David Njoku gets 4 sacks. This should be pretty decent. Not terrible from the O-line there. Then on the defense, 128 tackles from Jatavis Brown, 119 from Joe Schobert. 9 tackles for loss for Larry Ogunjobi, 8 from Myles Garrett and Damon Harrison. We have 12.5 sacks there from Myles Garrett, 4.5 from Emmanuel Ogbah. Interceptions, 5 from Denzel Ward. I hope he wins Defensive Rookie of the Year. That would be awesome. 2 from Jatavis Brown, 1 from Joe Schobert, Derrick Kindred, and Brian Calhoun. And then do we have any touchdowns? We do not have any. I really hope Denzel Ward, won Defensive Rookie of the Year. 9th in the NFL on offense, at least we're top 10 in that category. Then 22nd on defense. MVP does go to Aaron Rodgers. We already saw that. Nobody else from the Browns. AFC Offensive Player of the Year goes to Le'Veon Bell. Nobody else from the Browns. Defensive Player of the Year. Nobody from the Browns. Offensive Rookie of the Year goes to Josh Allen. Baker Mayfield comes in second. Why does it say he's a 76 overall? He's definitely not. I'm not sure what that's all about. Nick Chubb comes in 8th, even though he probably didn't do anything. Defensive Rookie of the Year. Denzel Ward comes in 4th, and he had 5 interceptions. How does that make any sense? Or 4 interceptions. Whatever he had. Still, that was a good season from him. I hope he still has a lot of experience. Anyway, here on the offense, 2 experience points for Baker Mayfield. Yeah, he is an 81 overall. Maybe it's a scheme thing. I don't know. 2 from Jarvis Landry, 1 from Michael Thomas, 1 from Will Hernandez, Joel Bitonio, David Njoku, and Ezekiel Elliott. And then on the defense, 6 from Myles Garrett, 7 from Denzel Ward, though 2 from Larry Ogunjobi, Jatavis Brown, and Derrick Kindred. Not a bad amount of experience. I am now in the offseason, and I have $33 million to try to bring in some players. Who is here? Danny Shelton could come back to the Cleveland Browns. Trey Boston, Trevor Williams. Trey Boston wouldn't be bad. He's getting so many points, though. Trevor Williams wouldn't be bad either. I could always use another corner. I'm not sure. I kind of want to draft one, maybe. I feel kind of have a weird cornerback situation going on right now. Trevor Williams would not be bad, but I feel like I get him all the time because he's so easy to get this year because he's on the trade block. The Redskins are balling out right now. 126 points on Trey Boston. And then 127 points on Jonathan Hankins. Kenny Vaccaro, don't really want him. Dante Fowler could be interesting. I could bring him in to play where Emmanuel Ogbah is playing. I'll let you know who I go after. I went after Dante Fowler, and he rejected our contract. I love to see it. I'm going to be trading away my first round draft pick here in this draft. I can get a first next year from the Bears. I can also do that with the Bengals, along with a second rounder next year. Or with the Titans. That's a first this year, a second this year, a first next year. That is probably going to be what I accept. Anything else better? I don't see anything else better. I'll take this from the Titans. With this pick, I'm going with Jorian Lamb. He looks like a very, very good safety. Super fast, super athletic, with very good top 3 skills. Let's select him. 81 overall, quick development. He's really balanced too. He can play run support, zone, or hybrid. We drafted him at number 7, I think, and he's ranked number 9, so that was a good pick. 93 speed, 82 zone, 79 tackling, 79 man. This guy can play corner if I needed him to. He's a very good looking player. I think I'm going with Demetrius Eccles here. This guy looks really talented as well. 4.62 speed is insane. Good vertical jump, good 3-cone, good 20-yard shuttle, good frame as well. 6'3", 242. And he has B zone coverage, which is nice to see. I'm going to select him. He's a 79 overall, quick development. Reached a little bit on this player, but I still think he's worth it. 84 speed, 83 zone coverage, 90 acceleration as well. He should be a starter for us for a while. I'm going to be selecting Latarius Reese with this pick here. Looks like a very good linebacker as well. Out of Penn State. I didn't even notice that. Good speed at 4.65, and he's very strong. He's the strongest left outside linebacker. He also has very good top 3 skills. Let's go with him. He's an 80 overall, quick development. 80 as a run stopper, which is very nice. I think that fits the scheme perfectly. 88 tackling, 87 hit power, 83 speed, 84 strength as well. Not a bad player at all. I'm going to be selecting a cornerback with this pick here. It's not that guy. That's at the top of the list there. It is somebody who got selected. He was supposed to be a late second round player, and he went already. I guess I'll go with Dixon Cadu. He ran a 4.61. Yikes, that's not very good. I still might take him though, because I need a corner. Why did that other guy go? Well, that pisses me off a little bit. Let me make sure he went, and he's like not just chilling down here. No, there he is. Did I not? Hold on. Did I not see him on my draft board? Oh, he should be at the bottom of my draft board. That makes sense, because I accidentally took him off my draft board, and then I put him back on, and that sends him all the way down to the bottom. Whatever, let's go with this guy, Jimmy GOLSTON. B plus zone, B minus press, C plus man. Not the best combine in the world, but it's still not horrible. I think he can be a very good player for us. He's a 78 overall, quick development, supposed to go in the first round. 89 speed, 78 man, 86 zone, 81 press. Good looking player here. I'm going to go with Parker Marshall here. Looks like a pretty good offensive lineman. He has over a 6 combine. I don't think that matters as much as it did last year, you know, in Madden. But this guy's very, very strong. 36 bench press reps. Pretty agile, decent acceleration for an offensive lineman, and good vertical jump as well. Let's select him. He's a 75 overall, normal development. He's not bad. I don't know if he's going to start. Maybe I can slide him into center or something. I have a few other offensive linemen. I do want to draft one to start at center, and then maybe I can trade J.C. Treader. I have 2 wide receivers left on my watch board. I believe, yeah, both of these guys. Watts Mullins has good short route running, good medium route running, and good catch in traffic. Not a phenomenal combine, but his top 3 skills are still pretty good. Let's select him. 76 overall, normal development. Ranked 45th, though, in the entire draft. Not super fast, 86 speed, 85 acceleration, 81 catching isn't bad. Horrible deep route running, but good short, good medium, good agility as well. I'm going to take this other wide receiver here. He is very, very slow, running a 4.6, 4.40. But he has very good top 3 skills, so I hope that makes up for it. He's a 78 overall. Normal development is not very good. He's ranked 31st, though, in the entire draft. Supposed to go in the first round. 85 speed isn't great. 83 acceleration, 86 catching, both pretty decent. 92 short route running, 84 medium, 65 deep is pretty bad. I think this guy might start at the number 2 position, though. I have 3 more draft picks left, and I don't have anybody left on my watch list. So I might trade these ones away, or maybe just select some random players. I don't see anyone with that good of a combine. Here's a left outside linebacker that doesn't look like anything special. I'm just going to trade away these draft picks. I'm giving the Chargers J.C. Treader, Jabril Peppers, and a second-round draft pick for Joey Bosa. I feel like that was just a little bit too easy. I'm giving the Buccaneers E.J. Gaines and Sean Coleman for Levante David. This is what the team looks like going into this second season. I do not want Duke Johnson being my fullback. Guess I'd rather have Nick Chubb do it. Become more of a power back, my guy. 77 overall power back for him, too. Okay, whatever. That's fine. What did that upgrade? His break tackle, his strength, that's pretty nice. 2 awareness and 1 agility. Okay, well, anyway, this is what the team looks like. Baker Mayfield's up to an 82. Ezekiel Elliott only went up once. I think Michael Thomas went up a couple. Jarvis Landry's a 90. This O-line got a little bit worse, I guess, because we traded J.C. Treader, but I think Marshall can do fine there. I think he was the guard we drafted. This defense got a lot better, though, because we got Joey Bosa here at left end, Myles Garrett at right end. This linebacker core is completely revamped. Lavonte David, Equals, and Reese make up those guys. The safeties are, I would say, better because Lamb is a better player than Jabril Peppers was. Kind of blanked out his name for a second. But he's an 81 overall. Denzel Ward is an 85. But look at these stats. He got like 2 speed upgrades. 97 speed. 86 man and zone with 89 press. He is insane. Brandon Body Calhoun is still going to be the slot corner. So I'm just going to move it that way just to keep the aesthetic. You know, Golston is the number 2. I'll show you guys here. The Jarvis Landry is our slot wide receiver. Jesus, can I do this? He's our slot wide receiver, and Brandon Body Calhoun is our slot corner. This team is now an 87 overall. I think they are good enough to make it to the playoffs, in my opinion, but let's see what the midseason mark's looking like. We have a bye week here at the midseason mark, but we did just take down the Patriots. That's kind of cool. We are 6-1-1. The Ravens are 4-4, the Bengals 3-4, and the Steelers 3-4 as well. Baker Mayfield, Michael Thomas, David Njoku, and Corbett all have 1 experience point to spend. Is it Corbet or Corbett? I'm probably mispronouncing that. Jarvis Landry has 2. Boyette, or Boye, whatever, does not have any. He's the rookie we drafted. And then here on the defense, we have 1 from Myles Garrett, 2 from Denzel Ward, 1 from Golston, DERRICK, KINDRED, and Lamb, and then none from Brandon Body Calhoun. I'm surprised none of our linebackers got 1. I do have some experience points I can spend, you know, from the coach, but let's bring back Joey Bosa. Probably have to bring back Myles Garrett. No. Yeah, that was a different class. What am I thinking of? Ezekiel Elliott, Michael Thomas have to come back. Those guys were in the same class. DERRICK, KINDRED probably was too. Yeah, so was Manuel Ogbah, Jatavis Brown. Okay, so luckily we have a lot of linebacker depth. I almost said linebacker depth. Wow. We have a lot of linebacker depth, so I don't have to bring back many of those linebackers over there. Ezekiel Elliott, though, I do want him back. Joey Bosa already came back to the team. We saw that. Michael Thomas, I want back. He's emerging to be a very, very good wide receiver in the NFL. I really like Michael Thomas. I think he is a great player. DERRICK, KINDRED, I will bring back as well. He's an 83 overall safety for us. Not bad. We're going to have about $30 million to try to bring in some players, which is more than enough to bring in like 1 or 2. Emmanuel Ogbah, Jatavis Brown, Joe Schobert, I will let go. Ricardo Lewis, same goes for him and everybody else here. We are in the playoffs here. We actually tied twice. Okay, we went 10-4-2. And we have to take on a divisional rival here in the Bengals. They went 9-7, as did the Steelers, and the Ravens went 7-9. How did we tie twice? Ties happen so much more often in sim than they do in, you know, in real life. 3-1 in the preseason, lost the first game, then we tied. So we started off 0-1-1, but then we won a whole bunch in a row. Tied to the Titans, won 3 more in a row, lost 3, and then beat the Steelers. That was a very good season. I don't know how we tied twice. That's so strange. Todd Gurley wins MVP. That's pretty cool. Baker Mayfield, though, 4,206 yards, 35 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. A very good season there from the second-year player. Ezekiel Elliott, 1,370 yards, 6 touchdowns. Lacking a little bit in the touchdowns, but that's a lot of yards. 0 fumbles as well. Duke Johnson gets 5. Jarvis Landry, 99 catches, 1,301 yards, 9 touchdowns. Michael Thomas, 9 touchdowns, under 1,000 yards again, though. David Njoku, 3. Malik Boyette had 3. Ezekiel Elliott had 422 receiving yards and 4 touchdowns. That does not put him over 2,000, but still very good season. Sacks, how are these? 12 from Joel Bitonio is not bad. 9 from Will Hernandez, Austin Corbett, whatever. 5 from Kevin Zeitler, and 2 from Parker Marshall. The rookie center played pretty well. 112 tackles from Lavonte David, 100 from DERRICK, KINDRED. We have 12 tackles for loss from Joey Bosa, 10 from Damon Harrison, but the sack numbers are quite nice. 15 from Joey Bosa, 12.5 from Myles Garrett, 7.5 from Damon Harrison. 2 interceptions from Jimmy Golston and Denzel Ward, 1 from DERRICK, KINDRED, Demetrius Eccles, Brandon Body Calhoun, and Jorian Lamb. Not too many interceptions, but it's all good. The defense seemed to play pretty decently anyway. At least 1 touchdown, though. And we get 1 from Denzel Ward. We were first in the NFL on offense. It helps when your quarterback's playing well and when your running back's playing really well. And then 5th in the NFL on defense. There we go. Rams, Todd Gurley wins MVP. Baker Mayfield is number 2. Nobody else from the Browns on this list. Saquon makes it in there at number 10, though. AFC Offensive Player of the Year goes to Andrew Luck. I feel like you don't normally see that. Baker Mayfield comes in 2nd for that, too. Ezekiel Elliott is in there at number 8. Defensive Player of the Year, we have Lavonte David in there at number 6. Offensive Rookie of the Year, anybody from the Browns. Malik Boyette, whatever, comes in 5th. I'm going to say that pretty much every time. Defensive Rookie of the Year, nobody from the Browns, but Demetrius Eccles and Jimmy Golston come in 6th and number 7. Where's our other linebacker? I'm surprised he didn't make the list. I actually don't even know how well he did, if I'm being completely honest. Let's check out the experience, though. 5 experience points from Baker Mayfield, 1 from Ezekiel Elliott, Michael Thomas, 3 from Jarvis Landry, almost said Julius Thomas, 1 from David Njoku, Corbet, Marshall, and Hernandez. And then on the defensive side, Denzel Ward has 3, Golston has 2, Myles Garrett has 2, Eccles and Reese each have 1, Derrick KINDRED has 2, Lamb has 2, Ogunjobi 1, and Joey Bosa 2. The team is now an 89 overall, 91 offense, 95 defense. This team's looking good. Jarvis Landry, Baker Mayfield, and Michael Thomas are all, a higher overall due to confidence. And then here on the defense, Levante David, Myles Garrett, Damon Harrison, Joey Bosa, those guys are all getting a confidence boost. Denzel Ward's stats are insane. I know I just showed you guys pretty recently, but 97 speed, 88 man, 87 zone, 89 press. He is so good to have in a rebuild. He would be amazing to have in a an actual franchise league, because you can get speed upgrades sort of easily. So he can have 99 speed in like 2 years. Joey Bosa went up super well. He has 99 finesse move now. Myles Garrett's up to like a 98. This team's looking good. Let's check out the overall difference between us and the Bengals, though. We should have a higher overall team. They have below an 80 overall team, so we should easily be able to destroy them. We have 11 overall points on them. We should be able to win. But Madden simulation's kind of wonky, and we lost. That doesn't make any sense. I forgot to spend my coach experience. It's not the end of the world, though. 21-17. Yay, okay, that's awesome. We have just under $20 million to spend in free agency here. We should be able to bring in some pretty cool players. DJ Swearinger is the top player. I don't really need him, like, at all. Matthew Ioannidis could be interesting, because I could throw him to defensive tackle and have him play there, and he'll probably do really well. I was kind of hoping for, like a Jalen Ramsey or something to come out of this. That would have been awesome. Derrick Henry's here. Definitely don't need him. Marshall Yanda would actually be pretty good. I am going to go after Marshall Yanda. I'm sure he doesn't want that much money because it's just a 1-year deal. I'm going to try to reel him in. I will up that contract, and I'll also go after Matthew Ioannidis. We ended up getting rejected by Marshall Yanda, but we did get Matthew Ioannidis, so he's going to play defensive tackle. This guy looked so good, but somehow his draft stock plummeted. Now he's supposed to be an early 3rd rounder. Look at that combine. He's first in everything, aside from 40-yard dash, where he's 2nd. I don't know. But with this pick, I'm going with Ira Arsenault. This guy is 6'8", 338 pounds. But he still runs a 4.8 940. That's actually, like, really good. He's also first in bench press with 39 reps, and he has very good top 3 skills. I want this guy to start at left tackle, and then I'm going to throw Joel Bitonio back into guard. He is an 80 overall with quick development. We took him, I think, exactly where he's supposed to go. I'm pretty sure I had the 14th pick. 92 strength, 86 run block, 79 pass block, 84 run block power. What's his speed all about? 75 speed, and he's 6'8", 338. That is ridiculous. I have nobody else on my draft board right now, so I might just take a shot in the dark with someone. I knew I really didn't need that many players in this draft. I really kind of just wanted that guy and then a linebacker. But the linebacker I wanted apparently isn't supposed to be very good. I can go with Adric King. He looks okay. I'm going to go with him. Supposed to be a late 1st round draft pick. Why not? Take a shot in the dark. 76 overall, quick development. That was a huge reach. He's really not that great. 75 zone isn't bad. 82 speed, 82 tackling. Really nothing special with this player. I might just send him to the end of the draft, and I'll let you know who the team drafted. The team actually drafted kind of well. Look at these. 3 75 overall players in a row, and then a 74 overall center. Check out these guys more in depth. Anthony Person, 86 speed, 84 zone coverage. Not a bad backup safety. Then we have Keenan Gray, normal development on that last safety, and normal development on this guy. Not horrible looking. Any of these guys have more than normal? Nah, this guy is normal as well. Jackson Bruener, very, very slow. Not the best catching. Good catch in traffic. Weird kind of player to get there. And then Walker Jean. Normal development once more. Pretty balanced looking center, though. We also have a 74 overall halfback down here. He has quick development. 91 speed, 88 acceleration, 54 trucking is tragic, but he's definitely not a power back. He looks pretty decent. 61 catching, that's pretty average for running backs, I think. I'm making one trade here to get a different right tackle. I'm giving the Eagles Christian Kirksey a 3rd and a 4th round draft pick to get Lane Johnson. This is now going to be the team heading into this final season. The offensive line looks a lot different. I have the rookie Arsenault playing at left tackle. Joe Bitonio moved back to left guard. Will Hernandez is going to play center. Kevin Zeitler's playing right guard, and Lane Johnson is now playing right tackle. I think the rest of the offense is the same. This team is just upgraded. Actually, I did sign this fullback in free agency because I needed a fullback. Samuel Pratt, Chris Pratt's distant cousin. And then here on the defense, we have Joey Bosa, Myles Garrett, of course, still. Damon Harrison and Matthew Ioannidis are the 2 defensive tackles. This linebacker core got a little bit worse just because of regression. Lavonte David is still a 92 overall, though. Lamb's up to an 83, Kindred's an 85. Brian Body Calhoun apparently has an experience point to use. I guess I'll do that before I get into this season, but I definitely think this team can make it back to the playoffs. We made the playoffs here, going 12-4. We didn't get a first-round bye going 12-4. Interesting. There's also a dog barking its head off outside. We won the division. The Ravens went 8-8, Steelers 7-9, and the Bengals 4-12. How well did the AFC play that we did not get a first-round bye? AFC 13-3 from 2 different teams. 12-4 from the Chiefs, and then 12-4 from the Browns. Look at the divisional winners here. Holy crap, they all played well. Surprised the Dolphins won 13-3. It's kind of interesting. Check out the stats, though. Deshaun Watson wins MVP. I might take a break for a second until this dog calms down. The dog seems to have relaxed a little. Baker Mayfield throws for under 4,000 yards, but has 34 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. That is insane. He's pretty much throwing a pick every 4 games. It's a little more than that, but still, that's an insane season for him. That's a ridiculous touchdown to interception ratio. Ezekiel Elliott, 1,400 yards pretty much. Only 5 touchdowns. We're not getting too many rushing touchdowns. Duke Johnson and Nick Chubb each get 4. Michael Thomas this year, has the best season for a wide receiver. 1,220 yards, 10 touchdowns. Jarvis Landry still didn't play badly. 81 catches isn't bad. 862 yards, 6 touchdowns. David Njoku gets 6. Watts Mullins gets 4. I guess he's our other receiver. I don't know. Ezekiel Elliott gets 2 touchdowns with 363 yards. Duke Johnson gets 3 touchdowns on 7 catches. That's interesting. How many sacks were left? The left tackle actually played respectably. He played about as well as Joel Bitonio did, which is fine by me. Everybody else played really well. 130 tackles from Lavonte David, 108 from Derrick Kindred, and 104 from Jimmy Golston. We have 12 tackles for loss for Damon Harrison, 10 from Matthew Ioannidis. Sacks 17.5 from Myles Garrett, 11.5 from Joey Bosa, and 10.5 from Damon Harrison. Good seasons from all of those guys. Damon Harrison getting 10.5 is awesome. Interceptions, 3 from Denzel Ward, 2 from Lavonte David and Jimmy Golston, 1 from Derrick Kindred and Torrey Childs. I don't even know who that is. Maybe that's somebody the computer drafted. That's my guess. Any touchdowns? We did not get any. So we were 4th in the NFL in offense this year. Defense was probably around top 10 again. They were actually, right in there at number 10. MVP goes to Deshaun Watson. Baker Mayfield comes in 3rd, though. Anybody else from the Browns? No Ezekiel Elliott. AFC Offensive Player of the Year, Baker Mayfield comes in 2nd. Ezekiel Elliott comes in 9th for that one. Lamar Jackson's in there, too. Anthony Hitchens wins Defensive Player of the Year. Lavonte David makes it number 5. He's the highest Brown there. Myles Garrett makes it number 9. CJ Mosley's in that list. I don't know why I felt the need to point him out. Offensive Rookie of the Year. Anybody from the Browns? We actually have Jackson Bruener, who's our tight end, I think. He comes in at number 8. Haynes Brent wins Defensive Rookie of the Year of the 6-10 Jets. Nobody from the Browns. Best quarterback, Baker Mayfield, comes in 2nd. Best running back, Ezekiel Elliott comes in 4th there. Not bad. Best wide receiver, Michael Thomas comes in 2nd. Michael Crabtree wins that. Interesting. Nobody else from the Browns. Did I say Keenan Allen? That must have said 94, right? Okay, for some reason I read that as 84. I was like, that makes no sense. Joel Bitonio is the best offensive lineman. Lane Johnson, though, in there at number 2. We also have Kevin Zeiler. So we're just missing the rookie left tackle and Will Hernandez at center. Best defensive lineman goes to Khalil Mack. Myles Garrett, though, comes in 2nd. I was just too caught up on the rhyme scheme. Garrett comes in 2nd. And then we have Joey Bosa and Damon Harrison. We have 3 players from our team in the best D-line list. That's pretty cool. Von Miller wins best linebacker. Lavonte David comes in 10th for that. Best defensive back goes to T.J. Green. Nobody from the Browns. Best kicker is Zane Gonzalez in this list. He is not. My friend Ray, I'm sure, is heartbroken. He loves using Zane Gonzalez in Madden. That's his man. But let's check out, the experience points. How many do we have to spend? 4 for Baker Mayfield, and then 1 from a handful of other players. Boyette has 1. All right. And then on the defense, 3 from Denzel Ward, 2 from those linebackers there, and Golston, and Joey Bosa, and Myles Garrett, and this Lamb guy. Brian Body Calhoun does not have any. That's all right. Let me spend these quick. This team now has a 93 overall offense and a 99 overall defense. We also only fit the vertical zone run scheme at 50%. I don't really think that matters too much. Honestly, like the percentage, of the scheme fit. Whatever, I'm just going to leave it go for this game. We're going to lose now because I said that. But this is what the team looks like. Baker Mayfield has +2 confidence, or +2 overall boost because of his confidence. He's a 92 overall. Ezekiel Elliott's a 96. Michael Thomas is a 95. Jarvis Landry is a 95. A lot of players are confident here, looking good. On the defense, Denzel Ward got another speed upgrade. So now he has 98 speed, 93 man coverage. There's no chance anybody beats him. 98 speed, 93 man, that's insane. Especially if he's playing man coverage. Nobody's going to beat him. 299 overall defensive ends. Myles Garrett, Joey Bosa, both up there. This team's looking nice. Let's check out the overall difference between us and the Bills. We should have a higher overall than them. They are a 78, we are a 92. Pretty much exactly what happened last time with the Bengals. But now we have a 14 overall point advantage rather than an 11. And we are probably still going to lose. Let's advance the week, see if the 9-7 Bills take us out. And they do. Oh man. I don't think I deserve to lose either of those playoff games. It's the same exact score. Lovely. So, on that note, I'm going to conclude this rebuild. I still think it was successful. If you guys have been watching my rebuilds for a while, you know that I don't really value playoff wins too much because they are so random, as you guys just saw. I had a much better team than the Bills, and they still were able to take me down. It is just a toss-up as to who wins once you make it to the playoffs. Making it to the playoffs is like the more difficult part for sure, so I consider this rebuild a success because of that. Winning a Super Bowl is always awesome, but you kind of just have to get a little bit lucky, I think. Here's a look at the offense, though, and one last look at the defense. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.